What's good, YouTube? It's Pokemaster88 bringing you Week 2 team preview of the Battle Hub Draft League. This week we are playing against Beardo and the Atacama Tyrannotars. We are both coming off losses from Week 1, so we're desperately trying to get a W. So whoever wins this game is going to get the first win on this season. Beardo is the coach I played 2 other times in BHDL. We've never beaten him, so we're trying to get our first win against Beardo. We're trying to get our first win this season. So with that being said, let's just move on to the matchup. And on paper, I feel like I have an amazing speed tier, and I think Palkia does really well. Right, we have Surf for Ho-Oh and Iron Treads, Draco for Raging Bolt. With appropriate chip, we can beat Gardevoir, assuming it's not scarfed. Tentacruel, we have 1,000 ways to hit Tentacruel. We got Earth Power, we got Thunderbolt. Same thing with the Raging, not Raging Bolt, but Roaring Moon and Cobalion. We get Flamethrower and Draco for both of those guys. And Shaman is the only thing that outspeeds Palkia, so Palkia looks very well. Spectre, if things are chipped, you know, he only has 2 Ghost. One resist and one immunity. So Girafarig and Roaring Moon, one of them or both of them has to come to slow down Spectre. We outspeed every last member on his team, including Shaman if it's not scarfed. So yeah, Spectre is gonna be very important as well. And we have Infernape. Infernape has a lot of coverage options to deal with Ho-Oh and Iron Treads. We outspeed Raging Bolt. We outspeed Gardevoir if it's not Scarf. We have ways to hit Tentacruel. We speed type with Cobalion, so we have ways to deal with his team, you know? So those are some little things that I noticed off kind of first impressions. But yeah, with that being said, let's just get into the first Pokemon. We have our boy, Infernape. We're rocking Iron Fist, Jolly Nature, Max Speed, Max Attack. The rest I decided to throw in HP. We are speed tying with a Max Speed Cobalion. And we are rocking Sworce Dance, Mach Punch, Earthquake, and Stone Edge. If I can get a Sworce Dance on, if like a switch or something, this Pokemon can pretty much win, considering I let my Stone Edges. Because in Mox, I did mix a Rock Slide, so I'm like, listen, if I'm gonna miss a Rock move, it's gonna be Stone Edge. Because, you know, Rock Slide, yeah, you flinch, but it is kind of weak and it still misses. So we're going all out with the Stone Edge this week. We are Expert Belt because, like I said, we can hit everything with Earthquake for neutral or super effective damage. And depending on the whole EV spread, we can actually one-shot it with Stone Edge. So yeah, that is our boy Infernape. Oh yeah, before I move on, we are rocking Terra Ground, so we're not weak to a Raging Bolt Thunderclap. So that's gonna be a way that we could win the game. But yeah, this is our boy Infernape, and we are moving on to Spectre. Spectre is going to be our late game win con here. The goal is to sub on chipped Pokemon. So let's say my opponent doesn't want me to get a free Grim Name. Maybe I can sub on the switch. Maybe he tries to Thunder Wave or Toxic me. Maybe we can go for a sub and get off a free Nasty Plot and start snowballing and breaking through my opponent's team. So we have leftovers because you know we're sub, why not? And then we have enough speed to outspeed Shaman. We're max special attack to be as much of a wall breaker as we can be. And the rest I decided to throw an HP. But yeah, keeping Spectre alive and healthy is going to be crucial. And with that being said, we are moving on to our next Pokemon. Snorlax. Snorlax is our Shaman switch-in. He is going to be careful, thick fat. Thick fat is mainly for the sacred fire so we don't get burned. And let's say for some reason we lose our cover cloak. If we are burned, we are rocking Facade, Earth Power, Rock Slide, and Ice Punch hits Shaman. Max HP, a lot of Spadef. The rest I just threw an attack. We have cover cloak to make sure we're not flinched by air slashes or worn down by sea flares. So Snorlax is very, very important this week. So moving on to our next Pokemon, we have Palkia. Now we are rocking a hasty nature, max speed, max special attack. We want to make sure we're faster than Roaring Moon. If it's not booster, Surf hits Ho-Oh and Shreds. Earthquake hits Tentacruel just in case it's Mirror Coat. And Ice Beam is for a Shaman switch-in. But I had to get that play right. A very straightforward Palkia set this week. But Palkia is going to be my lead because I led with it last week. It's going to lead into my opponent this week because I think it does very well in the matchup. So we're going to see how much we get out of our boy Palkia. We're going to try to play this mon extremely aggressive and try to get this mon on the field as much as possible. And yeah, moving on to our next Pokemon. We have Tinkaton. Now Tinkaton is our primary Gardevoir switch-in. We have 144 speed, which is just enough to outspeed Gardevoir. We have a 212 Spadef to make sure we're not two-shotted by a mystical fire. Now if it's Specs, yeah, we are definitely two-shotted. But if it's not an offensive item, we can live 2 if we're at full. The rest I decided to throw an attack. Tinkaton needs these leftovers to make sure she's able to take on Raging Bolt and Gardevoir just a little bit better. Our moveset this week is Gigaton Hammer, Stealth Rock, Knockoff, and Encore. Encore is for a Calm Mind Raging Bolt. Gigaton Hammer hits the team pretty hard. It outcools Gardevoir without investment, but it also does decent chip to Iron Treads. It is about 30%, which is pretty good, right? Every time it comes in. So Tinkaton is looking very, very nice. Pickpocket is very interesting. I want to see maybe I can get on a Ho-Oh Brave Berry, steal the item. I mean, I probably won't be making that play, but if it does happen, maybe a knockoff on Iron Treads. Maybe he knocks me off. Maybe I can steal his item. I'm not sure if it works that way, but hey, we are Pickpocket this week. And with that being said, we are moving on to our next Pokemon, which is Dondozo. Now Dondozo, I am not a fan of Dondozo. This mon to me is very passive, kind of a momentum sucker, and yeah, you know, I feel like my team is very, very weak to Volt Switch and Flip Turn and U-Turn. So one way I decided to kind of mitigate that is throwing an eject button on this. So maybe he wants to U-turn with his Roaring Moon or a Volt Switch on Treads. I can get the initiative and bring in like my Palkia or my Infernape and get the matchup I desire. But yeah, we are rocking 236 HP, 224 defense. This thing is mainly here to stop Roaring Moon and pivot into pivoting moves, and we can get our initiative. We are Wave Crash for Ho, Ice Fang for Shaman, Yawn just to be annoying, and Body Press to hit Roaring Moon. We are Terra Fairy, but that is okay because we're not tearing this Pokemon this week. We are tearing our Infernape. But with that being said, we are moving on to our keys to victory. Now, we need to try and avoid getting locked in a pivoting vortex. We need to limit our mistakes. Like last week, I thought I played very well, but there were some, you know, things I did wrong down the stretch of the game where it cost me. And plus, you know, I was outplayed in the later half of the game last week. So limiting mistakes is very, very important, and just got to go out and have fun, right? Relax, go out there and have fun, and try not to get behind early. You know what I mean? Pokemon is a crazy game, and we're just gonna go out there and do our very, very best tomorrow. So with that being said, wish your California Trailblazers good luck. We're gonna need it. We're trying to get our first win. And yeah, with that being said, Pokemaster is out.